Good afternoon, Dr. Candace.
Good afternoon. How are you? How
I'm
are you doing on this Friday?
girl, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I am doing awesome. I'm doing really good. I'm on. How will we say? Am I on vacation, holiday, hiatus, something? I'm doing great.
Vacation, all of it.
Yes, I'm doing really good. I really am. So I'm happy. I'm whole. I'm healthy. What is going on with you? How's the weather out there? And how you feeling?
Today is rainy, but other than that, I'm feeling
Oh,
good. I'm feeling good. It's a
okay.
rainy day, but it's all right. Everybody
Okay.
has to deal with something, and I
Yes.
think about when I think about, coming into the spring, because it is springtime, and I think a lot of us here in the Northeast is still, like, ooh, are we gonna get any snow? Or, because like it's nothing for us, the snow to creep up on us in the springtime, right? But it's just like now we just like so we getting a lot of rain. So I guess that's just, so it is what it is. How's everything going on out you? How's the weather out in California?
It's been horrible. It's been raining every day. That's why I look like, oh, wow. It's been raining like almost every day. It's been horrible. We're getting a little better today. We don't have any right now. We may get some this week. It's been cold to us, 62 and 50 is cold. Uh, yeah, it's been cold. But you know what? Other than that, we've been okay. Everything is good. Yeah, it's been okay. I wish the weather was a little better, but what we gonna do? What can we do? Yeah, so it's been good. You're on mute.
What can we do is right. Look, girl.
Yes. Other than that, it's good. I'm just going good. I'm glad that you're healthy. I'm glad you're doing good. I got a question to ask because you
Yes.
look amazing. You've been getting plenty of rest because you look really good.
I've been doing my best. I'm not gonna say I've been,
Okay.
I'm gonna say I've been doing my best.
Okay, because you look good. You
Doing my
do. You
best.
look really.
Look, you look well rested.
Oh, I get my sleep. You know, I am routine based. So I get my rest. I'm one of the ones when I hit the pillow, I'm out. Are you like that?
Sometimes, not all the time.
Oh,
Like if I have a
okay.
lot on my mind, I ain't going to sleep. I'm gonna be up for a
Okay.
while. But for the
Okay.
most part, yeah, I do what I gotta do to keep myself as, as
I
calm
get
as
it.
I can. So
I
yeah.
get it. I know how to shut this down. I know how to.
Yes,
I
yes.
learned how to shut this brain off. I'm like, okay, we got to shut this down. We do it too much. I'm like, okay, Candace, you're doing too much. But I am great. I'm feeling good. I'm glad to be back here with the people. I'm so
Mhm.
glad we're back. We're here. We're doing what we need to do. And yeah, we got a great show for you with a great topic, and we got some great content. And I'm just so
Mhm.
glad to be back. I love the Mental Health Minute. I really do. So, what we got going on today with the tea with Dr. Tyra?
Oh my goodness. So the tea with Dr. Tyra, let me tell you. So we was on Instagram, and I know everybody probably seen it because a lot of people was commenting on one of the posts that came up, which was about a person who had okay, so they let somebody have their phone to put their phone number in their phone, and the person allegedly took and got their cash app, right? And so they took and got their cash app, and it was just like, ooh, what we doing? And so they took and stole $1,000 out this person's cash app account. And so everybody was like, oh my goodness, and reading the comments on all of the threads that actually posted about this was really interesting. But it shows that a lot of people have been lax. I think all of us, I'm using the term loosely, have been guilty of allowing other people, like giving people the phone, like, ooh, hold this, ooh, do that, oh, do,
Yes,
we've all been guilty of it at some point, right? So it's just being able and being mindful now of who we allow into our space, because at the end of the day, our cell phones is our personal space, but we don't look
absolutely.
at it like that.
Absolutely. There are many computers. That's a lot of us don't know the phone numbers to important people in our lives, even family members. We don't know it by heart anymore. Back in
Mm-hmm.
the day, because we Gen Xers, I knew my mama phone number by heart. But
Hello.
right now, your friend and cousin and them, you like, what's their number? Their name is just in the
Mm-hmm.
phone.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we do that. And like you said,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us, like you said, you're using the term loosely, that we have. I
Mm-hmm.
fell victim to that. I do that. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
here, put your name and number in my phone. Here, in case you
Mm-hmm.
don't spell it right or whatever it may be. We've all
Mm-hmm.
done that. I just cannot believe that this man took this girl's phone. Well, actually, he didn't take it. She said, "Okay, put your number in." Exchange your numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and he went to her Cash App. And you made a good point earlier. He had to be scrolling, or maybe she don't have a lot of apps because
Right.
with the Cash App, with certain apps, like I'm an Android for life, Androider, and I know you
Mm-hmm.
have Apple and both,
Uh-huh.
and Android. There's different pages or
Mm-hmm.
slides you have to go to get to the
For
Cash App.
mine, for mine,
How
because some
many?
people, because the thing is, well, my phone, I have too many apps. We know this, right? I have over
Okay,
15 apps on my phone. I mean, 15
okay.
pages of apps on my phone, right? And so,
Oh,
because it's like when people say download this app, I'm like, oh, okay, I download it, and I download all these apps. Do I use them all? No. So when our topic today is declutter, right? And when I think about, child, I need to declutter this whole damn phone. But if you're looking for my Cash App, should you decide you want to try to do something frisky, you're not going to find it
absolutely. That's a
at
red
all.
flag for you because they had your phone too long.
Exactly. And if you got my phone too long, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, because if they got to go through all that to get to your Cash App, and Tyra see you scrolling, she like, "What you looking for? You was just supposed to put your number in."
Just put it in and get the going.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I get
Right.
that. I get it. Yeah,
Hmm.
I know. But I fell victim to that. And my phone, I don't have a lot of apps. I don't. What I do, and we're going to talk about this. I'm so glad. This actually, the tea with Dr. Tyra and our topic go together
Hmm.
because I declutter my phone. You know how you sit on the couch or you lay in bed, and then I go to apps, and then I got unsubscribe or delete, and I
Hmm.
delete the ones that I don't use because
Hmm.
it takes a lot of time and data and a
Hmm.
lot of space in your phone. And
Yeah.
I want my space. And then I don't know about Apple, but Android start charging for storage.
Hmm.
Where
Hmm.
they send me a notice and say, you got to buy more storage, ma'am. I don't know if Apple do that. I don't know if
Well,
y'all
if
allowed
if
that.
you run out of storage, then yeah, and they
Oh,
charge you 99. Well, nine depends on what level you get. Like
okay.
it depends on what level you get, but yeah, they do charge. They will charge you for storage if you run out of space on your phone.
Okay, and
Hmm.
being decluttered, it is a mental component to that, and
Hmm.
it's very relaxing. It
Hmm.
eliminates a lot of anxiety when you don't see all those things that you're not needing.
Right.
Things that no longer serve you. We're gonna talk about that. But yeah,
Yes.
back to this topic with the taking the cash app. That's a robbery to me. I mean, he
That
took
is a
this girl's
robbery.
money. Yeah,
That is a robbery. But it's like when you think about the whole situation in itself, right? It's like it really makes you wonder, how will that go over? How does that go over in a court of law? Because you gave him
absolutely.
the phone
Well,
with not the
well,
intent to steal.
he still is liable because if
Right.
I give you my housekeeper the keys to my house to go in and clean, I did not give her the keys to my jewelry box and my perfume and my Louis Vuitton collection. I told her to go in there and clean the toilet. I told her to go in there and clean. Don't touch nothing. So he was told to do one thing and he decided to
Did
do another.
something else.
So
Yes.
he's still liable.
Hmm.
Absolutely. That's like
Hmm.
you was told to drive my car, not to work, not to take my car and go pick up everybody and go to Vegas.
Right. 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 Right.
So he's still liable. It was wrong, and she don't even know him. And
Right.
when I saw it,
Hmm.
Shade Room didn't allow it, but she tried to put up his number or put
Yeah,
up
I
some
saw that.
information.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Talk
some
about get him.
information.
Talk about
Yeah,
get him.
and she said everybody contact him and tell him my sister want her money back. Says that money gone.
He done spent that. Y'all was in South Beach. He done spent it in South Beach.
Yeah. And you can change your Cash App profiles and change your Cash App situation. Like you can
Yes.
change your profile, your banking information, whatever you
Hmm.
have it connected to. So that's gone. You know,
Hmm.
it's unfortunate, but it's a lesson that she learned. She learned a hard lesson, and I learned a lesson at all as well. And I'm pretty sure everyone else did too, because I'm always saying, here's my phone, put your number in there, or here's a phone, what's your Instagram, and handed
Right.
my phone. Now, after what she been through, she taught me a lesson. Did you
Right.
learn anything from it? Because I
I
know
did
I learned
because
from hers.
well, yeah. I mean, my thing is, I learned too because I'm just like,
Yeah,
sometimes we do give people through our stuff, like, oh, do this, do that. No. So
yeah,
now that was a lesson learned, So it's like at this
absolutely.
point now, it's like, okay, now just figure out what you're going to do next. If you're going to exchange information with somebody, because like I told you, this past weekend, I was at, Club Quarantine Harlem, which we had an amazing time up
I
there.
know you
And
did.
so, and folks was exchanging, people who didn't know each other already was exchanging information. Like, oh, let me follow you on Instagram. And you're keying in, trying to make sure you got all the right information, and you're keying it in
Hmm.
wrong. So what was we doing? Here, put it in my phone.
Yes, that's what we do. I know, and
You
like
know,
that.
so
That is
it's a
so true.
it's an eye awakening experience for us to not do that again.
I know.
However,
But it's so fun and liberating, and
yeah,
it's freeing to have that vulnerability and be able to do that. I know
yeah,
some, you got two sides to the story. Some will
yes,
say, okay, Candace, don't do that again. That's stupid. You can't be giving people your phone and having them putting their Instagram and their number in there.
right.
However, it takes a lot off me. I don't have to say how you spell your name or what you say or underscore this. They put it in. It's free and it's liberating for me. It's like, hey, just go and do it. It's a nicer situation. It's
Mhm.
to me, maybe because I'm a free spirit. I'm
Yeah,
looking at it as I like having that vulnerability. I like having that where I could just say, here, go and put your number in there or put your Instagram in there. I
right,
like
right,
having that.
right.
I don't like living on. I got to look over my shoulder all the time because somebody's trying to steal from me. That causes anxiety.
It
I don't
causes a
like
lot
that.
of anxiety. Yeah, because it causes a lot of anxiety, a lot of anxiety
Yeah.
it causes, and that's not something that we want.
Exactly. I mean, because that was cool. Like, no one stole from you. You went to quarantine, club quarantine, you had your phone and had people putting their Instagram in there and their phone numbers, and it was all cool. This
Yeah,
young lady, probably, it wasn't as many people as you had around you, and it was just her and that dude, and look what happened.
right,
You
exactly.
know?
It,
They taking the fun out of it.
yeah, taking the fun out of everything.
Yeah,
It's
and
taking
I
the
just
fun
hate
out of
that.
Yeah, I hate that too because it's just like,
Yeah.
it puts us all into a whole nother mindset, where people was trusting people. It's like now, okay, I
Yeah.
can't even trust you because I don't know what
Yeah.
your motive is and what move you're going to make at this point. And
Absolutely.
nobody should have to go through feeling like that, you
That's
know.
right.
But at the end of the day, this is the world we live in.
It is.
This is
It
the world,
is.
and it's
And
sad because
it's so
people
sad.
have been so trusting, trying to be trusting, and learning to do things differently, stating everything that we've gone through. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And
And that's where I think the big
who
problem
wants
is,
to
and that's
live like
where,
that?
right, because now we have to live with the mindset of feeling like we're always going to be victimized. That's not good
Hmm.
for our mental health.
It's
If
not. And
every
that's
day
why
we
it's
gotta feel like somebody's out to harm us, that's not good.
exactly. It's not good at all. I don't want to live like that. I don't like living like that. But we have to have some type of discernment. We have to have some type of safety, some type
Yes.
of security, protection.
Right.
So she learned a hard lesson because she has money missing. And like I said, we also the people that know the story learned the lesson because I know a whole bunch of women and men that saying, "Oh, you ain't getting my damn phone. What you say
Mhm.
your name is?"
Write it down
And
on
you put it
paper.
in there. Yeah, right there. We're gonna go back to the old fashioned way. Write your number down and hand it to me.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
when I get home, I'll put it in my phone if I decide I like you.
Yep.
How
Yep.
about we go back to that?
How about we go back to that? How about we go back to that? Those QR codes. So here's another thing that people were doing. I don't know if you're aware of this. So with having an Android, y'all don't go through this, but having iPhones,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so we have this thing called AirDrop. If
Oh,
your phone if your airdrop is on, right, because you could turn it on or turn it off. So with airdrop you can make a choice to turn it on for everybody to download stuff to your phone, or only people in your contacts to select. to download stuff to your phone. So I have been to a number of events where people would airdrop all of their personal information to the phone.
Get out.
So, like, let's say, like, businesses would do it. Like at a business conference, everybody was airdropping their business stuff, contact information, just so that they can stay connected with the group, right? But airdrop is a problem when you had, like, I think about a year or so ago, people was dropping new pictures of themselves on airplanes to people's phones who might be open. And sometimes, like, you get a box asking you to accept, right? So you have a choice whether you accept it or don't accept it. But sometimes that box don't always appear, and it just automatically zooms into your phone, and you look up and you, what the heck is this? And that was happening to people. They was airdropping nonsense into people's phones. So with Apple products, you definitely have to make sure that that feature is turned off so that you don't receive inappropriate stuff from other individuals.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. See, I don't have that problem because I have an Android. See, I don't want no Apple. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that. That's dangerous. And
Mm-hmm.
even your own personal information, such as password, banking information.
Yes. Yes.
Oh wow. Yeah, we really have to be careful. We have to declutter. I think after watching and doing this show, everybody that's listening and it's going on, hey, let's declutter. And declutter your phone. Just everybody sit with your phone and declutter. Get some stuff up out of your phone that you don't need.
Yeah.
Because we don't need it.
Yep.
Wow.
Trying to tell you.
Wow.
Trying to tell you. It's
Yeah,
always something with these folks.
it is.
Always
That's
something.
not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. I get that. Hey, Granny Waffles,
Hey,
how are
Granny
you?
Wowzers, how are you?
Yeah, we got to work on that, but I love it. So, what else do you have with the tea with Dr.
So
Tyra today?
look, I said we was only covering that one today. Is so much. That was a handful right there with
Right?
that.
It really was.
Because now we gotta always be mindful of the stuff that we doing.
Right? That was a lot.
Always something. Yup. So moving into
Yes.
our next topic, we're going to take a short commercial break. Be right back in 2 seconds. All right.
Hey, yeah. So let's get into it. I am so glad to be back, just as I know Dr. Tyra is glad to be back. We
Mhm.
are here. We are here. So for today's topic today, the journey of declutter. Yeah, that's a mouthful, and that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about what it looks like to declutter your life.
Mhm.
Because we all know how to declutter the closet. Y'all know how to take the summer clothes out when it started to get cold and then
Mhm.
say, okay, I got to put in the winter clothes. So we know how to declutter that. But we're going to take a little deeper dive today and we're going to talk about four important things that I think everyone, and
Mhm.
myself and Dr. Tyra, think that everyone should start to declutter because it will
Yeah.
help you. And that is, we're going to talk about the mind, health, money, and relationships. How to declutter those four and what it look like. So
Mhm.
first, before we get started, we're going to go into what is decluttering. So, what is decluttering, from my take, is removing the unwanted and getting ready for what you need. Removing the unwanted and getting ready for what you need. It's also removing what no longer serves you. That's decluttering. It also is toxic residue. How to get rid of toxic residue? Just like cleaning the bathtub, and that's decluttering. You getting rid of the residue, but you do it for your life. And another one is things that you have outgrown. Those are my definitions of decluttering in the four that we're talking about today. So, what it looks like for you, Dr. Tyra, to declutter for the four components that we're going to get into today. What that look like for you? And do you have, so this is a two-part question for you, Dr. Tyra. What it looks like to declutter And do you have a lot of clients that you know need to declutter, but they want to hold on to it? They have like a emotional hoarding situation going on. What does that look like?
I don't know what just happened, but but all right, everybody. Y'all know technology is a whole mess. But declutter looks like for me, it looks like basically ridding myself of or telling people to rid themselves of anything that's negative that doesn't serve them any positive purpose. Right? Because at the end of the day, we need to be able to have our minds full of clarity. We need to be free of stress, free of anxiety, free of anger, just free of anything that's not doing us any positive services, right, in our lives. And sometimes it comes, in forms of family, it comes in forms of friends, it becomes in forms of jobs, it comes in forms of, anything that's causing any type of toxicity. Because at the end of the day, we need to, free ourselves from a lot of toxic environments and being able to have that moment that we can say, okay, I'm okay with these moves that I'm making, and just being okay with starting to declutter. I know for me, clutter is what I'm gonna say halfway point of hoarding, right? And the same, we
Absolutely.
girl, and this is
I
like
call it emotional hoarding.
that's because that's what it is. You can hoard
Yes.
emotionally, you can hoard physically,
Yes.
and
Yes.
this it happens. This is what it
Hmm.
is, and it's being able to say, okay, let me figure out what am I going to do to free myself of this. How can I start the process? And that's why we decided to come on today to talk about this, because number one, spring came March 20th, March 21st, one of them days, right? And this is spring, and so this is the first spring topic that we decided we were going to have today, which is decluttering. All right, Dr. Candace, you're up.
Yes, and decluttering, we all have to do it. I do it a lot. I used to be an emotional hoarder. Never been a hoarder with things, tangible things, but emotional hoarder. So that's how we're going to get into it today. We're going to talk about mental. We're going to talk about mind, decluttering the mind. So I get you, Grounding Rousers, with your comment where you say, "Ooh, yes, I need to do all of that." Absolutely. Planning on downsizing some things. So let's see if some of these things help our viewers today. And Dr. T, of course, we want to hear what you got to say about this. But for the mind, this is what it looks like when you start to declutter the mind. It's accept what is. So what I mean by accept what is, when you have to start to declutter the mind, control versus control. Y'all get that? Come on, stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with me and Dr. T with this one. When we say control versus control, and the reason why it's control versus control is because there are things that's in your control, and then it's a whole bunch of stuff that you have no control over. So it's control versus control. And once you learn that, you say you'll be able to take out what you cannot control. It's time to declutter that because you can't control it. So that means you're going to have to either get you some resources, get you some help, or place that where it needs to be. You got to lay that down because you can't control it. The next one is showing compassion for self. That is another way that you can declutter the mind. Show yourself some compassion. A lot of us stay up at night because the mind is racing. A lot of us emotionally eat. A lot of us do a lot of other toxic things and be in rooms and places we don't need to be. It's because we have so much going on that we use those things as distractions and not showing ourselves compassion and saying, I need a break. I can't handle all of this. So showing yourself some compassion and not being and trying to do everything will help you declutter. Another is release guilt and fear. Once you learn how, get you some help with this one. So we giving you the lunch of this. You're gonna have to get a therapist or get someone to help you, a support system for the dinner. So with that part, when releasing guilt and fear will help you declutter because some of us are walking around with guilt and fear and it's clutter. It's so much. It's so much clutter. It's on your heart. It's on your chest. It's on your mind. and it's emotionally wearing you down. The next one is visualize what's important. The reason why I use the term visualize, and Dr. T, I want your take on this as well, is because if you can see it, you can believe it. A lot of us don't have things happen or know how to declutter because you can't even see what that look like. So you need to visualize it first. How you feel about that?
I feel, you know what? The thing is, I feel like everything you said was true, right? But I also feel like in regards to what you're saying in regards to seeing it, visualizing it, that's why they always make the statement, write it down, right? We speak things that we want to do, we speak things that we want to manifest in the air, right? But that's just us speaking out loud, right? We're not seeing it. But when you write it down, that's the action. You know what I mean? That's an action step. Us writing it
Absolutely.
down and it actually happening,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we
Absolutely.
have to work on, the action.
Yes, and I totally agree with you. Visual, you have to write it down because when you write it, you are visualizing it. And the
Hmm.
next one is pay attention to your energy.
Hmm.
Your energy can clutter you. You could be around cluttered energy, or your energy is already cluttered when you ban yourself. So you got to pay attention to that. You have to declutter that. You have to look and pay attention to your thinking, and you have to eliminate what you have to actually say to yourself, what doesn't serve me? What isn't serving me right now? Because would you find this to be a true statement, Dr. Tyra? We tend to keep around what no longer serves us, but we keep it around for habit. We keep it around
Yes,
for comfort. Why do we keep it around? That's a good question.
girl, emotional ties.
There you go. Emotional ties.
Emotional ties. Because the thing is, when things happen, we become so emotionally connected to it, we don't
Mm-hmm.
know how to let it go. But
Mm-hmm.
we're here to tell you, you have to let it go. We get
Yeah.
emotionally tied to clothes. We
Mm-hmm.
get emotionally tied to money. We get
Mm-hmm.
emotionally tied to people. We get
Mm-hmm.
emotionally tied to cars. We get
Absolutely.
emotionally tied to houses.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's just like when you look at it, it can go at any moment. So while you having these emotional ties to it, things happen in a minute, things happen in an instant. And with life changing, we have to be able to start being able to break the ties and cherish the memories.
Absolutely. Beautifully said. I love that. Break the ties and cherish the memories. I love that. And that's what we have to do. So
Mhm.
that's what it looks like to emotionally break the tie, to mentally
Mhm.
declutter those
Mhm.
things right there. And I hope the people, the viewers that watch this and watch the replay as well, write
Mhm.
those things down because that's what it looked like to emotionally
Mhm.
and to mentally break things down and to declutter. And
Mhm.
why would we want to do that? Because when you have all that on you, would you say, Dr. T, that it causes anxiety, it causes depression, and other
Yeah,
diseases as well, other illnesses as well? What do you think?
I think it does. I think it really does. It can cause all of those. I think it can cause depression. I think it can cause anxiety. Because bottom line is, depression comes because you're having an internal battle with yourself. How
Mm-hmm.
do I let it go? Should I let it
Mm-hmm.
go? Why? And then you
Mm-hmm.
sit up there reasoning with yourself, especially if it's an inanimate object. You're half sitting
Mm-hmm.
there with a whole battle with yourself, like, I don't want to let it go. Look, I know. I think about, when I think about all of this, I think about my first car. The very first car
Oh.
I had, right?
Mm-hmm.
The very first car I had, my dad bought for me, right? And it was time to get a new car. I didn't want to let it go, and I was just like, well, because my dad passed away,
Yeah.
and I was just, oh, that was the first car he got me, and oh, I can't let it go, I gotta keep it, and oh, and I was just so, and my mom was like, if you don't let that damn car go, and it was just like, like, all right, well then you're gonna pay insurance on two cars, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, because I did own the car, and it was just like at that point I was like, you know what, cherish the memories, let it go. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Cherish the memories and let it go because it's not like keeping it for what,
Yes. Absolutely.
you
And
know,
Dad wants you in a new car, a safe car, a reliable car.
all the time. And so
Yes.
that's why I said to myself, yeah, no, let it go.
Absolutely.
So I had to break,
Absolutely.
and I broke that tie on my own.
Good. So, would you say today that
Mhm.
you are in harmony with balance when it comes to letting things go
I'm gonna say
and
yes.
decluttering?
You know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes because right now I'm having a clothes situation. I
Okay.
need to let some clothes go, and it's just
Okay.
like, oh, you know how we as women get. I'ma fit
Yes.
into this.
I know, right?
Look, sis, get over it. You're not going to fit into it. Get rid of it. And that's
Yeah.
and that's where I'm at. But I
Yeah.
know I need to let it go.
Okay. Now, for me, oh, let me tell y'all, I'm proud to sit up here and say this today. Y'all, let me have my soapbox moment. Come on, let me have my Oprah moment. I will let shit go to a blink of an eye. This the new Candace. The old Candace will hold on to everything. I told y'all I was emotionally hoarding and probably hoarding clothes too. Not anymore. I have no emotional ties. I have no ties to anything. I don't. I don't attach. I have no. My attachment and my cutoff game is strong. I know how to let stuff go because I like that freedom of not having something having a chokehold on me. So I know how to let it go. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. It makes a
Yes.
whole lot of sense.
I
Makes
know
a
how to let it
whole
go.
lot of sense. So,
Absolutely.
but
So I love
but I
it.
know it came with a lot of work for
Oh,
you.
work. Oh, work. It came with so much work. It was oh yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I did it and I'm very happy about that. But I don't have any type of connection with tangible things. And
Mhm.
it was a time where I said, oh, we can't get that house that don't have granite. I can't drive in that car and it don't have leather. Child, please. If you get me to point A to point B, let's do this.
What you say? Let's
Let
do it.
That's true. I have no my attachment game is I love it because I stepped into what matters
Hmm.
and what makes me feel good. So I love that. I know how to declutter. So I'm so glad we're having this show. So let's move into health, guys. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into what it looked like to declutter the health. What that sounds like, what it looked like. Let me tell y'all, I'm gonna start with this one. And y'all stay with me. And yes, good question, Granny Wowzers. And I'm gonna answer that question myself and Dr. T, especially when we get to the relationship part. But let's talk about this health here. It says numbers don't lie or data. How you declutter when it comes to health. Numbers don't lie in data. Now, as a clinician myself in the health and wellness, as a doctor myself, numbers don't lie. If your BMI and your blood pressure and your glucose and everything is high and the numbers off the chart, that don't lie. So numbers don't lie. So how you declutter your health when the doctor tells you, or they don't even have to tell you, because y'all know, we all know what it looked like. Because I knew my health was poor when it was poor. I knew it was before I even went to the doctor. So with that being said, the numbers and data don't lie. So how you fix that is you just take small steps and start making small lifestyle changes. Because again, data don't lie. So you know where you need to be. How you declutter that, how you get out of that health clutter situation is you change your lifestyle. Eating habits, your sleep pattern, doing checkups with your doctor, your clinician, even mental checkups, physical checkups, and ask yourself and know how you feel. You got to ask yourself, how I'm feeling today. Is something off? That is how you declutter health wise. What you think, Dr. Tyra? What's your take on how to declutter health wise?
I agree with what you were saying, and I also want to add with decluttering yourself health wise is just being able to take action with
Yes,
things. You know what I mean? It's like as soon as you feel something wrong or you feel like something isn't right, being able to take the stand and say, okay, I need to make changes and let me start now. It's like
absolutely.
the doctors can tell you everything that's wrong, but if you're not going to make the change, that's going to be a problem. You have to be able to
Absolutely.
make the change. You have to step in. They can give you all the tools that you need, but you have to actually do the work. You
Absolutely.
have
That's
to
right.
do the work. If you don't do the work, then it's a problem. And that's when you start to decline. And it's just like granted, decluttering the body of all of the toxins, and being able
Mm-hmm.
to put yourself in a mindset to not eat a lot of carbs, not to eat a lot of junk food. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm, peachy clean because I'm not. Let me tell you, I gave up chips for Lent. Ate a bag of chips that did not taste the same to me, or whatever.
Oh
You know
wow.
what I mean? But it's just like, but I'm not gonna sit here and, act like I'm a goody two shoe, and like I do everything right because I don't, and it's just like, and I know for myself that I need to, you know, declutter. Like, and when you think about decluttering the body, right? The first thing that comes to my mind is detox,
Mhm. Mhm.
because that's detoxing your body, ridding your body of all of the impurities that you have put into yourself, right?
Absolutely.
And, and that's something that we all have to do, from
Mhm.
time to time, especially if we start on, on that journey to improving our health.
Yes,
It's
that's
something that's
very
is
important.
very, very, very important that
Absolutely.
we have to be mindful of how we're going to handle that.
hmm And I recommend getting with a doctor, a nutritionist, some type of nutritionist coach,
Mhm.
something, because I teach and I also have it in my program with nutritional psychology. And it is amazing to help people declutter. And you said something beautifully said, Dr. Tyra, when you said detox. In order for somebody to detox their mind first, I'm sorry, detox their body, first you have to start with your mind. And everything starts in the mind first because we all want to get the body together. Everybody want to be healthy. I'm pretty sure they do. At least 98% of us want to be healthy and continue to live in, of course. However, it starts in the mind first. You got to get the mind right first. That's why we started the topic with mindset, because you can want something, but when the mind ain't right, that's a wish. You just be wanting. You just be sitting up saying, I'm gonna want one day, but in order to take action, the mindset allows you to take action. The mindset allows you to do and take the necessary steps in order to detox. So you're absolutely right. So that's what it looks like when you are detoxing your body and getting your health together. And we're not saying being a certain size, because I don't believe in that. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't believe in that. I believe somebody 300 pounds can be healthier than somebody 120 pounds. It has no, yes, excess weight has a lot to do with a lot of illnesses. However, it has nothing to do with different diseases. It doesn't. You have to take care of yourself and you have to advocate for yourself. So it has nothing to do with big and small. It's just advocating for yourself and your health. Like Dr. Tyra said, you can go to the doctor and they can give you the tips and tools, but you need to advocate and do them for yourself. You have to. You have to. So that is one of the things, well, some of the things that you can do to declutter your body and your health. Check on yourself and ask yourself what you need. You know exactly what you need before any doctor will tell you. Now let's go into money. This is a good one. Let's go into decluttering our money situation, because a lot of us have a whole lot of clutter when it comes to the money. A lot of us, including myself, back in the day, I didn't have a good relationship with money. So let's talk about what that looks like. What that look like? Okay, what you have coming in monthly. So if you want to start decluttering your financial situation, you need to write down and ask yourself what I have coming in monthly. Not what my baby daddy got, my husband got, my cousin and them, and nobody else living in the house. What you got coming in, because we want to make you reliable and you accountable for you, which you got coming in. So that's the first thing. Then the second, be realistic with yourself. Don't be writing down what you may win in the lottery, or if you go and who owe you and how many heads you may braid that day. What's reliable money? What's guaranteed money? Lucrative money. Money I know that's going to come in. That's what that means. Lucrative. So that's number two. Number three, write down what's going out. If what's coming in is greater, it's not as great as what's going out, then you have a problem. You in the red. Number four is survival rate. When I say survival rate, and I say this and I teach this in my coaching program, when I talk about survival rate when it comes to money, say what's coming in, that lucrative money that you know you're going to have coming in, guaranteed coming in, that don't come in. Something happened. Your survival rate. How long can you survive without it? You got a month, you got 2 months, you even got a week. What that means is for the people in the back for to say, well, that's see, I don't know what that means. Not money you can borrow, not money that your mama gonna give you or you gonna go to a payday advance. No, I'm a simplify it for you. Y'all know we like simple on here. How far are you from being homeless if that guaranteed money ain't coming in? That's for the people in the back. When they say, well, what that mean? That's what it means. So what's your survival rate? If I have this, so say I got 10 grand coming in, and after I paid my bills, I got three left. If you didn't save at least 1,500 of that or invest it to get something back, how close are you from being homeless if that 10 grand don't come in the next month? That is what that look like. The next one, your relationship and your belief with money. Ask yourself, what's my relationship? What kind of relationship do I have with money? What's my belief system with money? Because some of us grew up and we believe that money is the root of all evil. I grew up with that. I grew up with that because that was embedded and instilled in me. That ain't what I believe now. But that's what some of us grew up with. Some of us grew up with all the people that got money, they're bad and they this and that. I grew up knowing that, but that's not the truth. That's not my reality today. So, find out your relationship and where you stand with money and what your relationship look like with money. Today, I can say, and I can speak frankly for myself, I have an amazing relationship with money. We best friends. Money like me and I like it. I give it out and it come back. He said, Candace, I'll be back. I said, come on back. That's my relationship with money. If I give $10, I look at that $10 bill. I say, now you gonna come back twice, right? You gonna come back being a 20, right? That's my relationship with money. What's your relationship with money, Dr. Tyra?
Look, I tried. I try to be the same way, and it's just like I know, like I tell people, when it comes to, having a bad relationship with it, I think the number one bad relationship that happens is when credit cards is involved. You know what I mean? Because it's just like so many people, we get caught up with that, and it's just like, oh, okay, get this, get that, get this, get that, and you just going ham with it, right? And that's not the way to be. And it's being able to say, okay, I have self-control, I'm able to stop using them, start doing what I need to do for my better good, because this isn't good, living, doing things unhealthy when it comes to that, and my thing is, one thing a lot of people like to do is borrow money. That's an unhealthy relationship. I had a discussion with someone not too long ago, and we were talking about and entertainment and loans, and we know that people take out vacation loans, because I consider vacation loans as a part of entertainment, you know um and I'm like, no, like, the conversation was, we didn't agree on that. Like, the two of us was talking, it's like, no, I don't agree on doing anything like that, and I'm just like, no, I don't either, and it was because my thing is, when you go away, right, that's supposed to be your time to declutter, time to declutter your mind, right? Change your mindset. How the hell is your mindset changing if you got to come back and worry about paying for that trip that you just put all over your credit cards, and you're looking
Hmm.
and you're all over the place, right? From all of that, how's that helping? You get where
Exactly.
I'm
That's
going?
not a vacation.
Right, because now I'm coming
That's
back.
a hellcation.
Okay, because now you got to come back and go harder than you did before you left
Absolutely.
to make up for that and the interest.
Absolutely. That goes back to mindset.
Right, it goes to mindset, and it was just like, and so you know what else is an issue too? The new processes. What is it? You got the Klarnas, you got the
Oh,
Afterpays,
afterpay. Yes.
Bezel, you got all these
Yes.
awesome programs. I'm not going to say they're
They
not,
are.
because we all use them, right?
Mm-hmm.
We offer them within our businesses. We all use
Mm-hmm.
them, right? However,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't use them properly, you're creating a whole problem for yourself.
Absolutely. You are.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because the thing is, it's like, you have to keep track of your spending and your money.
You
And
have
so
to.
when you use those programs, it don't happen that way.
Yes. People use them as a crutch.
A big crutch.
Yes, absolutely. And you hit something on the nose when you said self, where that comfort, where you had that self control with money. A
Hmm.
lot of people, number six on here that I wrote down was emotionally spending. And
Hmm.
one of the ways to declutter is to ask yourself and take a look at your bank statement, and your
Hmm.
bank statement will tell you if you are emotionally spending.
Hmm. Hmm.
Your
Hmm.
bank statement will tell you if you got Grubhub and what's those other people that be dropping off food on that 500 times? That's an emotional spend because it take nothing to
Grubhub,
go to the grocery store.
DoorDash.
There you go. Go to the grocery store and you can get some food and cook and meal prep, and it's cheaper to do that and
Hmm.
healthier as well and cheaper. So that's
Hmm.
the emotional spend. If Amazon is on there all day and all these other little shops and stuff, that's an emotional spend because a
Right.
lot of things that we buy we don't quite need. We need to start taking care of our wants and then putting our to take I'm sorry, taking care of your needs and
Hmm.
putting your wants on the back end. And you get your wants when all your needs have been met.
Hmm. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that is
Yes.
how you declutter with the money. And
Mhm.
I had to do that. All these tips that we named, I had to do. I had to say, no, I know I want that. I want that so bad. But I said, Candace, do you need it?
Right.
And
Right.
what that
Right.
look like if you go buy it, where it's going to put you. Absolutely. Uber Eats, if your bank statement is saying all of that, there's
Mhm.
an issue because
That's a big issue. Right.
that's an emotional spend because you could have went to the grocery store and had to bought the ingredients and cooked the same thing and even had leftovers and could
Hmm.
have saved some money. So
Right.
that's an
Right.
emotional spend.
Right.
Absolutely. So
Exactly.
that's what it looks like to
Hmm.
declutter financially. And we need to do that. There's another component to that, but that is where you start
Right.
with financially. Now let's get into relationships, and that way we're going to answer Granny Wowzer's question as well.
Yeah.
Now with emotional declutter, I think everybody on the universe needs to do this. So everybody needs to watch this one here. We need to relationship declutter on on 10. And how you do that and how you ask yourself that, how do you start? Ask yourself, am I supported? Are you? Are you supported? If you don't feel supported, oh, it's time, and you got people around, time to declutter. Get them trash bags out. Stop blocking. Get that finger ready for the block button. Get your trash bags out or pack all their clothes and put them in them bags. I don't know. It's just something. It's time to declutter. If you look around and you can literally say to yourself, am I supported? And you're not, but you have people around you, it's time to declutter. Another one is, are you available? Some of us may need to declutter because you're not available. That means the people that are around you, not necessarily saying it's their fault and they're not supporting you, you're not emotional and mentally available for them to support you. So it's a different time. That y'all timing is off. They ain't for you and you ain't for them right now. And that's okay. That's when it's like, I'm gonna have to shelf that because I'm not there. I'm not available. So because sometimes it's your fault. You're not available. The next one is, have you tapped out? Some of you could have just tapped out, emotionally tapped out, mentally tapped out. So you're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to declutter. That goes back to the mindset. That's where you take it back to the mindset. The next one is, have you outgrown the relationship? Whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, where that's your girlfriend, that's your homegirl, and you could have outgrown her. I have outgrown plenty of women where I'm like, I ain't gonna be able to do this. It seems like you trying to trauma bond with me, and I don't do that. So I've outgrown that. Some relationships, sometimes we outgrown our partner. You know how you meet a man and it's good for a minute, then after a couple months he getting on your damn nerve. You done outgrown him because you thought it could have escalated and went someplace else, elevated. I'm sorry, and it didn't. So you can outgrow people. The next one is, do you feel drained in certain relationships? If you starting to feel drained, oh, you good, and you know when you feel drained because your energy is off. Your body gonna let you know before your mind. The body is the first to tell you. If you start to, get your heart beating a little fast, you start to sweat, you get a tightness in your stomach, and you're starting to get headaches, and you start to feel a little fatigue around certain people, they're draining you. It's time to declutter. Now, so those are some of the tips. Let's answer Granny Rouser's question. Is it okay to break ties with family members as well? I am not getting anything but feeling depressed and less than. Dr. T, would you like to answer that?
So we know with family that it can be very, very hard. to basically let ourselves, break ties with them because they are family, right? And it's like, you do the best you can for everyone, but at the end of the day, what are you doing for you? It's just like, you can only do but so much because you're only one person. So you have to be able to, evaluate every situation that comes into your life, and then you have to see exactly what situation that's happening within the family do I really need to be a part of in regards to the conversations and things like that. Because just like people are human, okay, that's number one. And just because they're your family don't mean they can't be toxic. So it's being able to say, okay, am I okay with number one, moving away and just saying, you know what, we can associate, but we're going to associate from afar because I know exactly what it is, right? Only you know your relatives and how they make you feel, right? And if you don't have that conversation with them about your feelings, then that's hard, you know. But what you can do is move in silence so that it don't
Right on.
constantly, because the thing is, you don't want it to continue to hurt you. Am I right, Dr. Candace?
Absolutely right. I was like, ooh, she said it when she said you can move in silence because I totally agree with everything you said. Let me add my 50 cent to that. Absolutely, it's okay to break ties with family members. Absolutely, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. There is no in that. Especially if you're starting to feel depressed and less than, it is time to move on. And with family members, I know this being a clinician and being in this business for so long that sometimes family members you can't go to and lay it down on the table. You can't lay it at the altar. You can't go to some family members and tell them how you feel because now they feel you in your feelings, you being messy, you starting stuff, you the victim. It becomes too much. It becomes a domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Dr. Tyra said, sometimes you got to move in silence and you got to leave people where they at because people are people and we can't change people. If they ain't in diapers and they grown folks, you
Mm-hmm.
can't change them. You got to leave that alone. So, with
Mm-hmm.
that being said, yes, yes, and yes, it's
Mm-hmm.
okay to break ties. Now, if you're not one to completely cut off, because it's a process to this, and I show a lot of people this as well. It's a process. Some everybody ain't like myself and Dr. Tyra. Our cutoff game is strong.
Right.
We like, oh, wait, what? And you out. Everybody ain't like that, and it took us time to get that way as well. However, there's a method to this. You, like she said, you can move in silence, but then you can give slow no's instead of fast yeses. Instead of always yes, 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 I'll be there, I can do it, I'll show up, I'll do this and that. Hey, learn how to give a slow no. Like, no, let me think about it. Let me
Right.
process this. Let me get back with you. It's
Mm-hmm.
different ways you can do it. And then you can start taking yourself out of the equation because people are, they'll get the hint, especially when you stop showing up, when you stop responding. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you this, and this
Mm-hmm.
is for Granny Rousers and for everyone else that will be listening to this as well, because I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of people that battle with this.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trying to figure out how not to hurt them or how can I remove myself or how can I get them out of my life, how about
Right.
this? You remove yourself out of theirs.
Hello.
There you go. Ain't no more. How I'm gonna get you away from me? No. How I'm gonna, cause see, you're in control of you. So no more how I'm gonna remove you from me. No, I'm gonna remove me from you because
Right.
that is what you can control. You
Mm-hmm.
can't control nobody else leaving, but you can
Mm-hmm.
control how you leave. And if you have to leave slow, leave slow.
Right.
So that's what I want to leave you with. What you feel about that, Dr. Tyra? That
I,
makes sense?
it makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, just
It
yeah.
makes a whole lot of sense.
Because
Everything
I get
you
that
said.
asked a lot.
Right.
How I'm a lead, Dr. C. Dr. C, how should I get them away from me? I don't want to be with him no more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't make him not want to be with you, but I can
Right.
show you how to move you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So just slow moving is still moving, so you may have to do it slow. But you can still move until
Mm-hmm.
your cutoff game gets stronger, and it'll get stronger because mine's real strong.
Right.
Until it gets strong, then
Mm-hmm.
you just have to say, okay, do it comfortably. Don't
Right.
do it where it takes you out of character and where you don't recognize you. So do it in a comfortable position, but for you. Yes. So those were our tips today on how to declutter on mind, health, money, and relationships. What's your final word, Dr. Tyra?
So my final word is, you got to do the best you can to
Yeah.
you have to do the best you can to declutter all aspects of your life. Don't allow yourself to become stressed. Move the way you are supposed to move and don't allow it to take over you. The goal is
Hmm.
for you to be able to control it and do everything that you need to do. Okay,
Absolutely.
for you. Okay, and that's
Absolutely.
my final word. What's your final word, Dr. Candace?
Beautifully said. My final word is I agree with everything Dr. Tyra said. And also, the reason why we use the word declutter is because it is easy for everyone, it's universal, to be able to resonate with that, with declutter. Declutter means I am going to move something. Everybody know that. I'm going to clean up. Declutter, clean up.
Mm-hmm.
So we use that word so it can resonate with you. So when you think about it, think about cleaning out your life,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning out your finances,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning out your mind,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning out your phone, but cleaning out, just clean like you clean your purse. We women. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
clean your purse. Like, I ain't gonna carry this today. Let me clean my purse. I got
Mm-hmm.
500 receipts in there, so I'm gonna clean my purse. You know, it's cleaning up what matters. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what that is. So that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with. Look at decluttering as I'm cleaning up my life from my mind to my money to my relationships to my health. Just clean up. That's my final word. This has been awesome.
This was awesome. Oh my goodness. I tell you, we came back hard today, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We came back hard today, but this was an awesome episode. We want to thank you all for joining us today and participating. Thank you, Granny Wowzers, for joining us in the comments. That was awesome. We want you all to have a awesome weekend, and we will see each and every one of you on social media.
Yes.
Yes.